All right. Welcome back to the YouTube. And I'm going to tell you why building your physique is the most, ROI thing, the highest ROI thing you can do for yourself in today's day and age. Especially if you're a South Asian man and you're trying to climb the career ladder. Let's face it, everyone is. I promise you, building a physique is the single most important thing you can do to give yourself that edge. Look at the man who walks into the boardroom all confident. They don't, they don't just have that confidence because it's innate. They built that through the trenches of working out, right? So already the people that you look up to already have the physique. So the reason why you're probably not as successful as you want to be in your career is because you don't have the physique. People don't look at you and think, "Wow, that just eyeball, he looks awesome." No, they're like, "Damn, this guy's a pushover because he doesn't look the part." Look, you're already the guy that people look up to in a career fashion, right? You're probably a director, a partner, a founder. Most of my guys are very successful in terms of the career ladder. But let's face it, between the 60-hour weeks to all the way to like 120-hour weeks, you probably stop focusing on your body. And as a result, your career probably is declining as well. Yeah, the career plateau and physical plateau are the same plateau. The discipline, identity, and energy that you built your career are the same tools that will transform your body, and they go hand in hand, right? So the data doesn't lie. Let's talk science, right? 20% higher perceived leadership ability if they're physically fit and executives, right? 73% of Fortune 500 CEOs exercise daily. You are 2 times more likely to be promoted if you're physically fit versus sedentary, right? So there's many other stats to back this up, right? So the first impression problem. You already know businesses won or lost in seconds. The handshake, you walk into the room. It depends on the frame that you carry, right? So if you don't carry the high frame, good luck. Good luck. You have to be the guy that walks into a room, muscles showing through the shirt, and everyone can look at you and be like, this guy knows his stuff, right? So the energy problem no one talks about. Without the physique, you crash at 3 p.m. every day. You feel like your stress is spiking, your sleep is poor, decisions aren't made as effectively, and people don't really trust you. You're not a great leader. But with the physique, you sort of have that aura to you, right? Physical recovery is fast. Deep sleep is very important, and you have that now. And you also have the capacity to make better decisions and do them for longer, right? Now, the confidence compound effect. Confidence is not a mindset, it's a body state, right? When you look strong, you feel strong. When you feel strong, you negotiate harder. So, I promise you, resistance training will boost your testosterone like none other. And in doing so, when you walk into a room, people will be gravitated towards you. It's not just about your career prowess or your knowledge prowess. You also have the physical prowess to back it up, right? Think about the reason why movie stars are casted the way they are is because they have the physical prowess to back it up. You wouldn't watch a movie with someone with you know a saggy chest or belly fat that goes over his waistline. Ask yourself the man you want to be. Do you want to be that guy that walks into a room with a saggy chest and belly above his waistline? If you do, cool. Look, I mean, you're not right for the program. If you don't, then let's get to it, right? So the specific challenge for South Asians specifically is the childhood conditioning around food, right? Like everything, finish everything on your plate, right? Genetics that predispose visceral fat around the belly, it's truth. And the cultural expectation that like food is like enjoyment, right? So you have to be eating it, and that's just, I mean, it's true, and you can do it, but there are ways that you can do it to maximize the way you look as well, so that you're not, giving one up for the other. So the 90-day identity shift. So when you do the physical transformation, the return on investment, a little bit of it's the physical, the way you look, right? Obviously, it's great to look good and look better in the mirror and feel better. but it's really the identity, right? When, like I keep saying, when you walk into a room, you feel like you are that guy because you've been through the trenches of working out. You have a higher sense of personal agency, right? A greater willingness to take risk because you put yourself through that risk every day. Reduced anxiety because you feel like a man that's capable, right? Improved relationships because you're assertive. The feeling of being back in control of your life, right? Um, and I get this a lot. I'll just start next time. I'll yo-yo diet, and I mean, it's just not great. We're working on limited time, guys. Like, ask yourself, how much do you want to accomplish in your life? Who do you want? Who's the man that you want to be? Right? Who's the man that your kids want to see you be? Depends. Do you want to keep starting on Monday, or do you want to start now and stick with it? That's fully up to you. Now, what it looks like in practice, and this is what I follow. 6 to 6:45, we have our strength training session. Then 7:30 a.m., the breakfast. Then we have a nice lunch. Then we have a walk. We get our cardio in. And then we get the family dinner in. And then, a wind down protocol, maybe some meditation. Then we go to bed. Easy. Okay. And this can work for all different schedules, right? We can take some things out, add some things back in to make the schedule easier. The bottom line is you didn't get to being an executive, where you are by not putting yourself first. But in doing so, you kind of neglected your body. Okay. And getting the body will only enhance your career. I feel like I see a lot of people that say that, I don't have time for that because I want to focus on my career. Little do they know, getting the body makes you a lot more assertive. It garners a lot more respect. At the end of the day, it's all about how you're seen. The work you're doing, awesome. But you'll always lose to the next guy who has the body and can also do the work to the same capacity. So if you also want to be like the dozens of clients that I have who lose 20 to 30 pounds in the first 60 to 90 days, I highly suggest you book a call with me. The link below, book a one-on-one call, and we can see if you're a right fit for the program. But with that said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.